Hey everybody, Rain Dragon here. I recorded a couple of videos earlier, but my microphone had fallen out, so there was no voice on them. So I'm going to re-record them. So just as a disclaimer, the following dungeons for the next 3, maybe 4 episodes I'd already done, but I'm having to redo them because they didn't record, and obviously I don't want to leave too many out. Another thing I want to mention, I have swapped to Astrologian, just because I've never played this class before, so it was something completely new, and I wanted to get used to playing it because it's one of the sought after classes right now, and I want to say, jobs don't matter in this game. Every healer is just as good as every other healer, unless you're going for ultimate, where every little tiny percentage of difference matters. Savage raids and so forth can be done by any class, any job. It doesn't matter, and I'm not playing it for that reason. Astro was something that I really wanted to play at Heavensward when it came out, and I never got the opportunity to do so because I stopped playing not long after Heavensward release originally. So it's going to be cool for me to go back and actually play the new improved Astro and see what it's all about. Now obviously I have played it a little bit, so I do understand how it works. And the other thing you might notice is my UI is different. Now, it's against the game's rules, and it is a bannable offence to use mods to change anything in the game. However, it's a grey area. Yoshi P has said that they won't go out intentionally to try and ban people because of things unless they are bots or something that gives people an advantage. This has no such thing. It's just a UI change. It's everything that you could see before, but it's now put in a similar fashion to what I'm used to from playing World of Warcraft all these years. It's not perfect. I am going to tweak it over time, but you can see, like, I have my party frames up here, this big yellow box where the other party members will be, my health, my target's HP, and then, you know, this little box in the middle here, which is for Astro, which tells me what my spells are on or off cooldown, etc. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So here we are at Haukke Manor, or however you call it, Haukke Manor, Haukke Manor? I'm not sure. I hate this dungeon. The reason I hate ARR dungeons so much is because they're so non-linear. Like, look at the layout of this dungeon. It's so easy to get lost and go somewhere where you aren't meant to. And the funny thing is, this is actually really easy because you just go round in the square. You go round through the rooms, round in the square, back, downstairs, etc. It's not actually that bad, but it feels awful to me. So Astro's all about pulling cards, and you pull a card and it has a special effect. It gives people a buff. So this is a melee buff I'm now going to put on the monk, not the monk, Dragoon I think it is. Now I've got another one, I'm going to stick it on the tank, give him a quick heal. I don't have Renew to give him yet, and now we DPS. I could have actually put my DPS out sooner. I'm really confused at the moment because I've obviously gotten used to having different spells that I now don't have access to. But we should be fine. Should be fine. Astro's really a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun leveling it. I haven't obviously done much with it so far, but it is really cool. I'm really looking forward to trying it later on as we go because it seems to get more complicated along the way. At the moment, it's drawing a card. You draw the card, it picks a certain buff. You'll see on my bar here where it says ready, just down here where my mouse is now, that if I draw a card, it now says range, which means I need to cast it on range. So I'll put it on the range buff there, and he now gets a buff. Now it can be ranged or melee. Can be either of the two. There's 3 cards of each. That's all they do so far. Now I'm led to believe that it gets more complicated later on because I can show you a perk in the skill tree that, or in the skill tree, in my skills I should say. Where is it? Down the bottom here? No. One of the traits. Enhanced draw. Grants a solar sign, lunar sign, or celestial sign. Now I don't know what they do yet. So that's going to be interesting to find out. I will mention as well, I have finished Endwalker now. Awesome expansion. Really, really cool. But yeah, I finished Endwalker now. I did it on a Sage, so I actually healed all the way through the expansion. Terrifying. Some of those primals, or at least some of the end game duty finder thingies, man, they are They are cool. They are cool. They're very difficult for a healer. But I really did have a lot of fun playing it. So I'm not as nervous healing as I was when we first started this series. That has to be said. And it's because I've forced myself through it. Forced myself to go and do, you know, the dungeons along the way, and forced myself through the campaign. I really wanted to see the end of Endwalker. It would have been a complete waste of time if I, you know, didn't force myself through. So yeah, I'm glad that we achieved that. And here we are now, leveling an Astrologian. I really do want to do a tank series, because I'm terrified to tank. I don't know why. It can't be that bad, right? Right? Oh god, I hate this dungeon. Okay, this is the first boss just up here, if I remember. So what I want to try and do on this Astro, and bearing in mind this isn't a guide for how to play Astrologian, and I'm not claiming to be great at what I do or anything like that, but I'm trying to dot everything early. I have my instant cast right now, so I'm saving my instant cast when this tank gets below 30%, because it goes boom and heals hella loads of damage. And that gives me more time to DPS. I should have had these buffs out earlier though, to be fair. That's a mistake on my part. Need to get used to trying to put the card buffs out early. And I also have this buff here, Light Speed, which reduces all the cooldowns on my cast by 2.5 seconds. And I'm not quite sure the correct way to use it yet. I feel like the correct way to use it is to use it off of cooldown, just all the time, just whenever use it. But I don't have that many off global cooldown spells right now to make the most of the downtime. So right now I'm not really using it, except if I have to move. I can pop that and I can move and cast at the same time. Which is, you know, pretty helpful, but I haven't found any other use for it other than that so far. I'm sure I'm going to get commented on and told that I'm a complete noob and, you know, that's not how you use it and I should be using it on cooldown, it's a DPS increase. I don't know, I don't see it. Right, we've got a card up, let's use our card. They are off the global, so it's ranged, and I just gave it to Millie. You'll see me do that a bunch. I get confused sometimes. Me stupid. See, like, if I use my light speed here, I can run around and cast, can even heal while moving, which is, you know, pretty awesome, let's be honest. Millie this time. Actually give it to a Millie. So yeah, at the moment, Astro is quite simple, right? You keep your dot up, which I've got tracked on this little bubble here, where it says now 17 seconds and counting. And then this green bar underneath tracks my card draws, so when that gets one stack at the end, or multiple stacks, you can use your card draw to then cast on whoever requires the buff. And that's basically all we do so far. Like I said, I'm sure it's going to get complicated. Oh yeah, we go back through this door, yeah, I remember. Nothing's ever straightforward in A Realm Reborn. Sorry for my voice too, I've just gotten over COVID. So, I'm a little bit weird sounding. Oh, we don't normally kill these. Normally people jump straight down. This is cool. Oh yeah, it's a new tank though, right. Yeah, I remember. Millie and Millie. So now, oh, I can't redraw yet. I do have an ability to redraw, but I don't actually have it yet. Because then where I drew a Millie and then I drew another Millie, I'm going to say it's a waste to put it on the tank. That's not technically true. Tanks do some obscene damage, especially gunbreakers. And I think paladins now in Endwalker, they do some pretty good damage too. So it's not technically true, but it's obviously going to be better to be on a ranged DPS. So there's the chance there where you can redraw and hopefully you'll get a 1 in 5 or 3 in 5 chance, sorry, of drawing a ranged card then. It draws out of the 6 and it can't draw the one you've currently got. So, but yeah, you know. Don't ask me to do maths. I've had 2 weeks off from doing maths. I can't remember how to work brain. Aren't we supposed to go through that door? Can we not go through that door yet? Okay, maybe we can't go through that door yet. Rain. Playing limbo with the tank right now. I've got my insta heal up, so... Why did he use his rampart then? Everything was dead. Maybe I made him panic. I might have made him panic. Sorry if I'm sniffing and stuff like that. I'm really trying not to. COVID's an evil bitch. For those that have had it, you know, it's not the nicest of things. You get all those headaches and stuff. It sucks. Really sucks. Right, let's dupes. I need to get a DPS tracker. Again, DPS tracker is actually a model you can have as long as you don't use it to berate anybody else. If I was to use a DPS tracker and then be all like, oh hey, Black Mage, yeah, you're like doing no damage, so I'm removing you from the group, or you know, you need to do this better or that better or whatever, that's bannable. They've made this game now so that it's so community friendly. Like, you can't be nasty to anyone, berate anyone, say anything you know, horrible to anybody, anything like that. You can't do that. That is an instant bannable offense, which I think in some cases is a great idea, because the community in some games has gotten very toxic, where people think that it's their prerogative to instantly ban people, remove them from groups, not let them take part in groups in the first place, just because of their gear or how they play or anything like that. And that doesn't improve anybody's skill. It doesn't help anybody. On the flip side, it's difficult to give constructive criticism to someone if you're not allowed to use evidence to say, hey, at this point you did such and such, or this wrong, or you used this ability rather than this and this, and it's difficult to give anyone any sort of help when you can't do that. But I guess if people want help, they'll ask, and if they're happy to ask, then they're, you know, they're not likely to report you, and you're not going to get banned. But I don't know. Sketchy. I keep myself to myself now. I can dispel that. Can't I? Yeah, I can. I should also have a dot on this guy. And this guy. And melee buff. These earlier dungeons are very straightforward. They do get harder, and it is cool when they get difficult. Later on, when we start getting to... I can't remember when it actually started getting difficult. Maybe like Stormblood? But there's a point that you get to where bosses start to actually have mechanics where you need to move, you need to soak, you need to stack, you need to do all sorts of things as a group or as an individual to not kill everybody. It's way more fun than this. These are pretty much tank and spanks for the most part, these earlier dungeons. A Realm Reborn especially. I can't really remember... I can't really remember what it was like for Heaven's Ward. Heaven's Ward I did so long ago. I'm not sure. I just got to wait for everyone to get back to the start because their returns are on cooldown, so they can't teleport to the beginning. It's poop. Let's sort my gear out. I've got that now. Let's put a ring on. That's a rubbish ring. Okay, update my gear. Where are they? Here they come. Just give them a wave. Woo. Okay, last boss time then. And that's Haukke Manor, finished. Which is good, because I hate this place. Not going to bother using my card drawer on this guy, because he's going to run away in a minute anyway. It'd just be a waste. There he goes. Off he goes. Oops, sorry about that. I should have got a card ready there, to be honest. Then I could have cast it as they were running in and then started the cooldown already. That's a mistake. These are things I have to learn. I want to get over here. Click this lamp. This is one of those bosses where if it was tanked in the middle of the room, it'd be so much easier to deal with, because you could DPS and click the lamps at the same time. Okay, we're going to start taking some damage here. I'm going to try and preemptively heal it. There we go. Should be fine. Boss should be dead before anything major happens from here. Oh, don't want people getting stunned though. That's not ideal. We're fine. We're fine. GG. That's the problem. Like I said, these earlier ones are quite straightforward. These earlier dungeons, just tank and spanks. I remember when ARR first came out, you had to click them lamps. You didn't click them lamps, you were in trouble. Let's give the old tanky boy. He's a new fella. We'll give him a nice little commendation. Don't need any of this loot so much. I could use this. I need him to get out the cutscene to win it. If I leave, I don't get it. Well, anyway, that's the end of this episode, so thanks for hanging out with me. If you like, please like. If you comment, please comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll do this again really soon. Bye-bye.